OrthoAthletes have revolutionized the game once again. Through their amazing app, you can find the top doctors in the entire state. You were the MVP on the field. Now you'll be the most valuable patient off the field. OrthoAthletes treats you like a 5-star. Download the app now and use the same doctors as professionals.
Welcome back to the Utah Preps Podcast. We've got the top 25 defensive ends. We're talking about the top 10 defensive ends in 2025. And these are the long guys that can get to the quarterback, dominate the defensive line of scrimmage, and bring chaos to the offensive side of the ball. We're talking about sacks. We're talking about getting to the quarterback. And these are the guys you want on your team that are game wreckers, game changers, and help your defensive backs getting to the ball. I love to see defensive ends. Let's start with number 10, Ifo Peely, 6'5", 250 pounds, coming out of Granger. Dude could be a top DN or tight end at the next level. He reminds me of a Brandon Mane Maliuna at tight end, but I think his future is DN. More of a 5-tech. He sets the edge super well, collapses the pocket, and he's just scratching the surface of his potential. He's a kid that is worth the price of admission and then some. I love seeing what he does. He is an absolute dog. And I love that he came in from New Mexico and did all the things he did. He is an absolute stud, and we are lucky to have him in the state. He already has some D1 offers, but I think he's going to add to them. Ifo Peely is a kid that can get it done on multiple sides of the ball. Like I said, tight end, DN, it doesn't matter. He may be the end of a lot of kids' careers because he's that talented, that amazing, and he has the size to prove everything that he does. Watch out for Ifo Peely this next year. Coming in at number 9, we've got Kingston Mamea, 6'4", 235 pounds, coming out of Harriman. Kingston is a bully on the edge. He fights through double teams like they are nothing. When hitting you, you're going to feel it the next day. I guarantee it. He brings a lot of strength to the position. He's a kid that I really like at 5-tech and a 3-4, but he can get after the quarterback as well as anyone. Look at him right there, taking the right angles, getting the quarterback out. He is honestly one of the kids that I can't wait to watch this next year. Harriman last year was a sleeping giant, playing so many juniors, so many sophomores, and a few freshmen trickled in. This year, they've got a team where you're like, oh my goodness gracious, this could be scary. And Kingston is one of the big reasons for that. Look at him heel lining, getting to the quarterback. He does it all from the defensive end position. He can rush from a 2-point, from a 4-point. He does a lot of good things, and I can't wait to see what he does this next year at Harriman. At number 8, we've got Jesse King, one of my favorite players in the entire state. 6'4", 235 pounds. Look at his stats right there. 7.5 sacks coming off the edge. And he is getting chipped. He's getting double teamed the whole time at Timpanogos. But Jesse is just a dog. He's a kid that's been overlooked, and I can't figure out why. He's a fantastic 5-tech. If he put some weight on, he would be a dream 3-tech, to be honest with you. His motor, his aggression, his thought process, and his desire is something that can't be taught. He just overwhelms tackles with his strength and collapses the pocket. What separates him, though, is his solid burst. He gets into the tackle really quickly, and he's a kid that we're going to look back and say, hey, he should have gotten a ton more offers because he's doing everything right, and I love watching Jesse King at Timpanogos. Watch out for him this next year for sure. Coming in at number 7, you better start saluting because we have a major on the podcast. Major Stokes, 6'5", 220 pounds from the class of 2028. That's right, he was a freshman last year, but he didn't play like that. I'll tell you that right now. Major blew my mind. I was saluting him every time I called his game, and by the time he's done, he could be a top tight end, DN, whatever he wants to, because he has that much amazing talent. Honestly, he loves running to the ball. He does great. People game plan around him, but he is a smart football player. His dad was a head coach at Tempview and at Dixie. He is just a thorn in the side of offensive coordinators now, though, because he knows what offenses are trying to do to him. And unfortunately for all of St. George and all of 4A, he's still got 3 more years to play. Major took over as a freshman with 60 tackles and 3 sacks and about a billion hurries. Teams were starting to run away from him as a freshman, which is crazy to me. They were like, we don't want any more of this. I can't say enough good things about this kid. Grab your popcorn because he's going to put on a show the next 3 years with everything he does. He is amazing. At number 6, we've got Cooper Williamsboro, the Fresno State commit. He is one of 2 kids from the state of Utah that I know of that have gone to Fresno State, and the first one to commit out of high school. 6'2", 235 pounds, and he's just getting started. He has some of the biggest feet in the game, and he's like 16 years old when this film is out. Cooper is a dude that has not grown into his body, like at all. I'm pretty sure he's going to end up being 6'5", 6'6" when everything's said and done. He could end up being an elite D tackle, possibly defensive end, or offensive tackle when everything is said and done. He is explosive and has a knack for getting the ball. He is just there and running after quarterbacks. We might have to call him the Undertaker with how hard he hits. My goodness gracious. I mean, quarterback hit forces a pick. It's going to happen a lot more this next year because he is dominant. I can't wait to see what he does this next year because he does everything right. Another kid where you're just like, oh my goodness gracious, this kid is the truth. Coming in at number 5, we got Tashiki Savory, 6'3", 245 pounds, out of the class of 2028 for West High School. That's right, another 2028 kid. Holy cow, welcome to varsity is what we have to say right here because he wasn't introduced to varsity. Varsity was introduced to him. That's what I like about Tashiki. He did everything for West. He's a grown man in a 14-year-old body. He's got a great bag of tricks, fantastic eyes, relentless in pursuit of the ball. He's played some of the best teams in the country going to Georgia, and he held his own. He gets in throwing lanes. He's a general nuisance for linemen. He's like a mosquito in the car just buzzing around. I can't wait to see how he progresses because he will just be a monster next year either way. I believe he's going to end up being a national recruit because of the skill set he possesses, because of the attitude he possesses, and I think he's going to help West really take that next step and be at the turf this next year. Tashiki is just one of those guys that you're like, I can't believe we're lucky enough to be able to watch him in high school in the state of Utah for the next 3 years. Coming in at number 4, we've got Mato Mao, 6'4", 235 pounds, coming out of Timpanogos. That means Timpanogos has 2 guys that you're just like, oh my gosh, Ma'a Mo, he is a stud. When the O-line sees Ma'a, they say, oh, we want no Mo tonight. He has great hands, effort, and as a sophomore, he looked like a seasoned veteran. Now, I can't wait to see what he did this offseason. Has he grown? Has he put on weight? That's something that offensive tackles all over the state are about to discover because he's a national recruit waiting to happen. He has great vision. He tackles hard. He takes on quarterbacks. He takes on running backs. And he is a consummate professional as a young gun. He is a kid that I'm like, I would trust him doing his job and then some because he is just that good. Look at him right there, getting around the tackle, taking the inside lane, and another sack. He's a kid you've got to watch out for because I am so excited to see what he does this next year, how he develops, because he's got a lot of potential and he's going to show it off. At number 3, we've got one of my favorite players, Mani Takitaki, 6'4", 230 pounds, coming out of Lehigh. PJ is a stud. I could end up the evaluation right there, but let's look at the future BYU Cougars game. He has one speed, and it is just all out, full speed, all the time. He has the it factor. He's a phenomenal edge rusher that gets his paws in throwing lanes and has great length. And he has really good strength as well. But the scary thing is he's not completely grown into his body yet. He can get under tackles and he sets tackles, can do a great little hop step in the inside, and his strength is still coming along. The scary thing about him is he's not even close to arriving, just scratching the surface of his potential. He's monstrally underrated, but he has the rush moves. He has everything you want and need from a defensive end, but he could be an outside linebacker when everything's said and done. He's that athletic, and you're just like, wow, what can't this kid do? And the answer is nothing. He was still growing into his body last year, but this year, he's going to be a problem for all of the 6A teams facing him. We've got some good offensive tackles, but we have some great defensive ends. And every day, if you go to a Lehigh practice, they have some of the top tackles and they've got some of the top defensive ends, and iron sharpens iron. For number 2, we've got Ulia Wolfgram, 6'3", 245 pounds, coming out of Maple Mountain. He's probably the smoothest defensive end in the state. He is strong and collapse the pocket at will. But more than that, he's a ghost. When tackles look at him, they go to punch him, and it's just, now you see him, now you don't. I mean, I don't see a better DN in his class, but anyone playing against him as a junior, they're in trouble. The 2027 class has some great players, and he's right at the top. He's going to get offers all over. He can play both sides of the ball. Just a phenomenal talent, great kid. And, I mean, Maple Mountain was building something special, but I don't know who he's going to be playing with, what's it's going down there. But if Maple Mountain can retain his services, they're still going to be a force to be reckoned with, because he collapses the pocket in like 2 seconds. And quarterbacks, when they don't have time to throw, they start making mental mistakes. And Wolfgram is a kid that makes quarterbacks think. They're like, is he coming? What's going to happen to him? And that's the job of a defensive end. He is just elite. That brings us to our number 1 defensive end, Crew Jones, 6'4", 230 pounds, coming out of Ridgeline. Crew is a true defensive end. And the crazy thing is, he may be a better tight end. When I told people I was rating him at defensive end, they said, why? He's so good at tight end. And then I said, maybe I should rate him at an outside backer. And they're like, I don't know. He could even be a split out receiver. He could be a linebacker. He could be anything he wants. But here's the deal. Whenever he's on the field, every single team they play need to key him, because he's a guy that's a game wrecker. He's going to be a problem. Whether on offense or defensive side of the ball, you need to put 2, 3, heck, put your whole team on him, and he's still probably going to win. He has a bag of tricks that's bigger than a magician. It's insane. He has phenomenal hips, and he can even cover slots where you're like, oh my goodness gracious. And tackles can't counter him. They'll go one way, he'll go the other. It's just another now you see me, now you don't guy. He demands 2 to 3 guys on his side, someone to chip him and 2 guys to block him. There isn't enough good things I can say about the junior to be honest with you, but Crew Jones is the absolute truth, and there's a reason he's a national recruit and one of the top players in the state as a junior. So that's going to be it for our top 10, you guys. Make sure to tune into our other episodes as well and support our sponsors. Go into our Utah Preps podcast to hear the full list, and have a great one.